If you train a machine learning model on a dataset filled with missing values, broken formats, and hidden biases, the model will fail when you try to use it. You can spend weeks tweaking algorithms, but structural flaws in the raw data will always cause the final result to collapse. That is why you need to check your CSV before you build anything. MLdeck is a diagnostic tool that runs a comprehensive readiness review on your dataset before you even start the machine learning process. Because this review happens entirely locally in your browser, your raw CSV is never uploaded to a server. Your sensitive information stays right on your machine. By running these checks directly on your device, you can spot the hidden traps that ruin models, all while keeping your business data completely private. Step 1 is getting the data into the system. You just drag your raw CSV file directly into the MLdeck interface. You will notice the file loads instantly. Because there is no upload process, the tool is reading the file directly from your local hard drive. Once loaded, MLdeck generates a top-level summary dashboard. This is a quick profile that scans the structure of your dataset. It calculates your total rows and columns immediately. If your file only has a few dozen entries, you will see a small sample limitation warning appear. A model needs a minimum volume of examples to identify reliable patterns. If the row count is too low, the tool flags that the dataset lacks the statistical weight required for reliable machine learning. This initial profile acts as a strict gateway. If the overall readiness score says needs attention, you should stop and investigate the warnings before you click the train button. To find out exactly what needs attention, we move down to the column-by-column breakdown. This is where MLdeck hunts for the structural blockers that derail models. The first major blocker is the identifier. If you leave a column like a customer ID in your training data, the model will simply memorize individual rows instead of learning the actual behaviors that lead to a prediction. Next, the tool highlights missing values. A numeric or categorical column that is mostly empty provides almost no signal, and forcing a model to learn from blank cells will severely distort your results. The third and most dangerous blocker is target leakage. If you include a cancellation date to predict customer churn, that column accidentally reveals the future. The algorithm is just cheating. However, if you predict something well after cancellation, that date becomes a valid input. You must evaluate against your objective. By surfacing identifiers, missing values, and leakage risks, this review forces you to stop blindly trusting a spreadsheet and start actively eyeing its structural integrity. If you are building a classification model, your next step is to select a target column. Let's say we want to predict fraud. Look at this distribution chart. If 99% of your transactions are normal and only 1% are fraud, your data is highly imbalanced. A model could simply guess normal every single time and appear 99% accurate, completely failing its actual job. Once you have reviewed these signals, you finalize the audit by clicking the Export PDF button to generate a clean, readable diagnostic report. For signed-in accounts, this PDF is generated entirely inside your browser. No server connection is required to build the document. You have now taken a raw file full of hidden risks and translated it into a tangible, shareable roadmap for cleanup. In just a few minutes, you have completed a full CSV audit. You did not write any code, and you never exposed your sensitive business data to the cloud. MLdeck Data Quality is an inspection tool, not a cleaning service. It provides the exact diagnostic blueprint you need to understand what is broken. From here, you have a clear choice. You can hand this PDF report to a data engineer to fix the dataset, or if the data looks structurally sound, you can proceed straight into MLdeck's browser local AutoML to start training. A model can only learn from the information inside the dataset. Never train a model blindly. Always diagnose the data first. When you understand your file's structure, identify leakage risks, and evaluate imbalances early, you move your workflow away from expensive guess and check cycles and toward a reliable diagnose and deploy process.